On a quiet Berlin night in 1919, a young Jewish mother tenderly held her newborn daughter in her arms. Her name was Leah. When most new mothers look into their new baby's eyes, they claim to see a future of hope and possibility. However, this was not the case for Leah's mom. A few weeks before Leah's birth, Hitler returned from a military hospital in Munich and had been promoting the idea of the Jewish problem. Hitler had also written a letter to Herr Genti, discussing how Jews could endanger the Aryan population. He wanted to rid Germany and all of Europe of the Jews. He proposed starting by taking away their rights. Leah's mom was scared. She looked at her young, innocent baby's face and wondered what kind of a world this child had been born into. As Leah grew, so too did Hitler's power. In her journal, Leah constantly wrote and recorded her observations and thoughts of the world around her. By the time Leah was 15, Hitler's actions against the Jews had risen to a new level. On September 15, 1935, Leah wrote, "The Nazis passed the Nuremberg laws today. These laws are intended to preserve the purity of German Aryan blood. These state awful things, anti-Semitic and racist things. Things like Judaism is a race, not a religion. They also said that a non-Jew cannot marry a Jew, live in the same community as a Jew, or pretty much have any relationship with a Jew. And the penalty for breaking any of these laws is severe. Some are harsh labor, imprisonment, and death. I think things are just going to be getting worse from here. If they do these things to non-Jews who disobey these laws, I can't even imagine what they will do to the Jews who disobey the Nuremberg laws." In addition to creating these laws, Hitler also introduced and is reinforcing the idea of the other being the Jews, homosexuals, and other minorities, those who Hitler sees as different from the mainstream and will weaken Germany as a country. I am fearful that these ideas will poison the minds of other wise and intelligent people. Not only am I fearful, but I am confused. I have always been raised German. I have always identified myself as German. Yet now, not only am I not German, I am an other. 3 years passed and Hitler was getting even more powerful and turning more people against the Jews and the others. On July 16, 1938, Leah furiously wrote, "For the past week, many delegates and representatives, I think 32, from different countries met in Yvon-les-Bains, France, to discuss the German Jewish refugees. The United States wants all countries to find a solution to the problem. Yet the U.S. and many other countries will not make it easier for immigrants to come into their countries because they fear their economies will suffer. They don't really care about us. They don't give a darn about us. They only care about their countries and their economies and their well-beings, but no, not our well-being, not our lives. No, not us, the Jews. Screw us, we don't need civilization, no, never." It really upsets and concerns me that no one really cares, that no one really wants to and will do anything to help. One good thing, though, that came out of this conference is the establishment of the Intergovernmental Committee on Refugees, the ICR, which will continue to work on the refugee problem, while no one else will even think about it, other than how to keep us out of their countries. The next month, Leah was exasperated by her findings while out with her mom. She wrote on August 14, 1938, "Today, when I was walking to the store with my mom, I saw posters slapped up on the sides of buildings. They were cruel depictions of Jewish appearances. These Jews were shown with hunchbacks, fat bellies, big noses, beady eyes, and oversized lips. I stood there in front of this poster thinking, is this for real? Is this really here? Is this really what they're depicting all Jews as? I am a Jew, and I look nothing like this poster. I am outraged by the lack of truth in this propaganda. Also, we saw a new children's book at the window of one of the stores I used to frequent. This book, called The Poisonous Mushroom, depicted Jews as something that spreads uncontrollably and must be exterminated. In fact, it seems to me that this book is the thing spreading untruths about Jews, and this book is what must be stopped." As the situation got worse over the next month, Leah's parents began to put a plan in the works. On September 17, 1938, Leah overheard the discussion and recorded. "This morning, I overheard my parents talking about moving us to a non-Jewish friend's house. They were saying something about some sort of cellar. I couldn't hear everything they were saying. They said that there would only be room for 2 people in there, so they would have to stay here while my sister and I hid from the Nazis. A little after that, my mom went to meet with a friend. She wouldn't tell us who, though. Maybe she was going to see Sophie, my best non-Jewish friend Emily's mom. She had always been asking if there was anything she could do to help.